I am Feel It.
And I am Fix It. And we talk about life.
And stuff and things.
With the occasional rant.
Which you will have no problem doing.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening or good night. Wherever it is, wherever you are, we hope you're having a good one.
Absolutely.
Been a very lazy day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yesterday was a bit long and just been feeling very out of sorts today and last night. And yeah.
I just don't feel well. I wouldn't say it's not a sorts entirely. Just, yeah, days of a headache, and I think it's hormonal.
Never a good time. Headaches suck.
Yeah, the weather sucks, and
yeah, muggy.
Yes, it's affecting my neuralgia. But just when I was talking about how great I'd been feeling, but I think playing with the testosterone dose is doing me no favors, and probably like PMSE or something different enough.
Yeah, throw it all together and crazy high humidity.
Yeah,
it is just sticky as anything outside right now.
Don't feel well.
I can live without that. I gotta go to work tonight. That's gonna bite.
Sorry.
Big metal box and humidity. Awesome. Yeah, anyway. But it is what it is. Do it all the time. And I for the Europeans out there, so last week was cooler in the for me at work, and cooler in this case was 31 degrees Celsius.
Oh,
so
we're going with Celsius now.
Yeah, for the Europeans, just
okay.
Well, for most of the planet, to be fair, it got up to 34 at one point.
Okay,
and it was very gnarly. I did not like that. It's hard. I still don't. My brain doesn't relate to those temperatures as much as I've used them over the years. They just don't relate. Like it was in the mid 90s. Okay, it was hot as crap. But anyway, it was. It's been hot and muggy, and it looks like it's going to be hot and muggy, and
yeah, I think for the next few days.
Yeah, so everybody else out there that's dealing with this hot weather, drink lots of fluid, get lots of rest, throw some ice in it, make sure it's cold, get in the shade, limit your physical activity outside, keep safe.
The basics.
Keep safe, keep cool,
I mean, it's been worse, but...
And when it's worse, you just naturally take it easy. When it's borderline is when you tend to push yourself, and that's usually when bad things happen. The really hot days, you just automatically just kind of shut down, and you ain't doing squat, it's too hot. When it's a kind of hot.
Kind of.
That's when you really get the stuff, I'll be fine. Oh, I wasn't fine. It's usually where it gets you. It's not a good time, so don't do that. Anyway, that is what it is.
Yes.
Stay cool out there. Stay safe.
Yes.
My chair's squeaking on the wall. It's going to drive me absolutely batty.
You should probably move.
Scooch forward just a little.
Okay.
There. Try that. Okay, I think better. Better. Anyway. We were discussing what to talk about, and you know, you're not feeling getting too deep.
No, I don't have that cerebral power today.
And I'm having my own difficulties. That's the word. Difficulties. Not the best word, but it's a good word. Difficulties with that kind of thing. But I found something that was interesting. I thought I'd kind of riff off of it and just do the layperson, non-scientific version. I found a study that backs up a personal opinion I've had for a really long time, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, you found an Instagram summary.
Yes.
You did not read this study.
No.
So who knows about the legitimacy?
Fair enough. But it does kind of... I have personal theories and pet ideas and normal observations about stuff, and the dog is going crazy.
A little bit.
And I've said it on multiple occasions. I believe in multiple episodes. Hi, clicky clacky. There we go. Yup. It's the dog saying hi. Yep, go say hi. Okay. Don't mind her. She's adorable. You can't tell. Just take my words for it.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
But what I have said many times in many circumstances that happy is a lousy goal. And so I figured I would expound on that maybe a little more deeply than I have before, simply because I can do that without... It's related to the study, but my own personal thoughts on the whole deal. Not saying you shouldn't want to be happy, but I think if you take a Zen philosophy stance on it, the more you try to be happy, the less likely you are to be happy. The only way you can be happy is to give up trying to be happy, and then happiness finds you. It's kind of the Zen philosophy. It's
well,
like
happiness is something. It's fleeting, and you seek it.
Yes. Oh, and that's kind of my point. If you're in the hunt for happy, you're going to find things that make you feel happy. But they tend not to last. It's
peace. Peace is something different. Joy is something
yes.
different.
Learning to be content in your situation is, I think, a much better goal. That won't really... I don't think that in and of itself will bring you to happy. I think the most joyous people, the people who truly are happy, are those that focus outwardly instead of inwardly. And
meaning,
setting a goal for yourself to be happy is extremely self-centered. It's about you as an individual. And I don't think happy exists within yourself. I think the people that I've met in my life that are actually happy, they focus on taking care of others. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's community.
in a healthy way.
Yeah, I mean, and I think honestly the happiest I can say I've been is when I've taken care of other people. If I know, like I can come home, my family's fed, and they're safe, and they're clothed, and they've got everything that they need, and a lot of the things that they want. That makes me happy. I can be at peace. I can be calm because the people I care about are taken care of. We drove halfway across the state to help out your aunt. And honestly, it's like that. It's like, I am happy about that. I was able to take care of somebody that needed a hand.
Mm-hmm.
No, a lot of times people think, hey, if I just get this one thing, or if I achieve this one thing, it's going to make me happy. And, if I just have this car, and when you get that car, you're excited, and you're very happy that you finally got the car. And then after a little while, it stops being the car and you adapt to its presence, and it's now a car.
Mm-hmm.
And that happiness that was attached to it fizzles out because you've become used to it. You've adapted to its presence. It no longer has its. You're no longer getting the dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Because it's now commonplace.
Basically.
And people do that with jobs and promotions and clothes and computers and all, Funko Pops. I know those guys. Or Magic the Gathering cards or whatever they get. It's like, if I just get this one more thing, if I just get that one, I'm going to be happy. And for a moment they are. But it's always fleeting. And they're always in the hunt for that fix. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those little quick fixes. Those little moments. It's like, get really giddy. I mean, I've got my mid-60s Lego Batmobile model sitting up there. And yeah, that made me very giddy to have it.
Yeah.
And I still smile when I look at it because it is related to a point in my life that just lots of memories. And then the fact that people I care about cared enough about me to do something that silly, because let's be honest, it's a giant Lego Batmobile. It's kind of silly. Is it necessary? No, it's not. There is no need. That did not feel a need. That was done simply because somebody wanted to make me smile.
Yeah.
And that, I get a great, that makes me happy. It's a pile of plastic. The plastic itself, not so much. It's what's attached to it. It's not the thing. It's the people. It's the thought. It's the care. Like, if you want, if you truly want to be happy, it's got to stop looking for how you can make yourself happy and focus more on how can you give somebody else that moment of happiness. And what you get back is so much greater. There's the really old adage, it's like ancient adage of it's better to give than it is to receive. It's like receiving is great. It is great. There are times when it's like you need to receive. But I've gotten throughout my life, I've gotten so much more from what I've given to people. And it's not always stuff. It's like you give somebody your time, you give somebody your talents and your ability, and sometimes just your silence and presence. That has created lasting times of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Despite whatever else might be going on. Like I was saying, the focus is to be happy, anything that will make you happy in the moment is going to be fleeting. And I'm gonna take it a little bit to the extreme, but it's like a heroin addict getting their fix. In the moment, they're great. Everything's awesome. Everything's wonderful. It's like in that moment, I got my fix and everything's great.
Dopamine and serotonin seem to be the hits of the day.
Yes. And then give it a little while, and you start feeling lousy. That great wears off. And for basically the same reason. The chemical reactions that were giving you those happy feelings dissipate. And the thing that was giving, and just like an addict, after a little while, you need more to get the same amount of effect. And then you keep going down that path, and you stop you stop getting the things that'll make you happy, and now you just keep doing them to keep you from feeling miserable.
Yeah.
I think that's, honestly, I think that is in some cases, and this is the layperson speaking here, in some cases, I think that's how a lot of hoarders get started. They get that hit when they get that thing, whatever it happens to be. Books, great deal at a yard sale, whatever it happens to be.
Void filling.
We all have, everybody has their thing, I guess. And it loses its perspective. And the hit from the thing becomes more important than the thing. And the thing ends up having an importance that doesn't exist, and just steamrolls from there. Well, it existed.
It's just
in the moment.
Not it's not healthy. It's not
no. It's
life-giving.
Well, and
not genuine.
And that's why when I say it's like happy is a lousy goal, is because it's fixated on those momentary feelings. There's a lot of different people out there with a lot of different opinions on where happy comes from. And one of them that I think has, more validity than most is you don't find happiness. Happiness is given to you. You can find contentment. You can create your own contentment. You can learn to be content.
Sure, and peace.
And you can, and peace. You can develop that by adjusting your perspective and keeping your perspective in mind. There's a big difference between being content and being complacent. When, before we moved down here, we didn't have a whole lot going on. I mean, we had a lot going on, and we didn't have a whole lot of money going on. Let me rephrase that. But I can honestly say I was content in that we were together. We were healthy for the most part. We weren't starving. We had friends and family around us that were involved and cared about us, and we helped them and they helped us, and we were content. But I wasn't complacent about wanting to stay at the level of surviving that we were.
Mm-hmm.
You can be content and still be driven for more, but you keep them more in perspective. It's like, okay, we're barely getting by. It would be really good to have extra. For me, one of the big things that was a switch in my head was when I go to the gas station and not look at how many gallons, how much the price was.
No.
I can just go pump it, fill it up, done. I don't have to think about how much I'm going to spend right here. I'm just topping it off. That was a moment of happy, but with that, it was like I was content with our situation when I couldn't do that. Because we could get by. We would survive. We would be okay. If everything else blew up, we were going to be okay. And in keeping that perspective, even when things were rough, we were okay.
Yeah.
And in that process, there was a lot of happy. And if happiness came from stuff, we should have been miserable. And we had bad times. I mean, they were rough. It was rough.
Oh, for sure.
It was a very trying time in our lives. But there was happy. And that happy came from, it didn't come from within, it came from without. The contentment came from within. We could be content. We could be at peace. But the happy came more from, I'm surrounded by people that care about me. And I can help them. And they want to help me. Didn't need stuff for that.
No.
And, even then, we got stuff. And getting this stuff, you got that dopamine hit, and it was great, and it was awesome. And then, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month later, it's now just a thing that you have, and it no longer has a dopamine hit. And it still, it was still there, but it no longer served that function. So if it was that feeling was the goal, the thing is never fit the bill. I'm rambling a little.
That's all right. I can't really. I can't really provide much. You got a deeper conversation than I think I was prepared for.
And
when I say I'm unwell, I mean I feel like I'm going to vomit. I felt like I was going to vomit since yesterday. My head is just.
No cheesecake for you.
Well, yeah, no. I did have a bite of it earlier and it made me feel worse, but I already didn't feel good, so.
Yeah, which, that sucks.
Yeah. I'm going to do my best to sleep off what I can to function tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I have been there. It bites. Sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do to help out? Let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
I already did.
I know, but I mean, you need something.
You helped with dinner.
Yes. Okay. Well, I get you. You need anything? You let me know. I'm here. You need me to just floof your pillow and turn on a fan? I can do that too.
I just don't feel like talking. I literally just don't feel like talking. And I'm still going to sit here and I'm still going to do my best.
Okay.
Because I feel like we miss a lot for different reasons, and this would sure be one of them.
Yeah. And even when we're not at 100%, we want to share as much as we can. We don't know who, because of the way this is distributed, I only have numbers on one of the outlets that this gets out on. But we get a decent amount of traffic. And I'd hate to let anybody down with that.
So, side note.
Yes.
It's been a weird month-ish. I had my testosterone checked because it was time. And I knew I had my follow-up appointment coming up. So I did that. That was a few weeks ago. She said it's high. Go off of it for a week. Go back on. Get it tested again. But when you go back on, do 1 drop instead of 2. Remember, there's no FDA-approved amount of dosage or application for women. So it's typically gel.
But it's a side note to your side note, which is stupid.
It's stupid.
Because testosterone is one of the primary hormones in for women, like it is in men, just like estrogen is a necessary hormone in male physiology. It's just the proportions are very different. If you take one out, bad things happen to your whole freaking system.
Well, I have had issues, right? So anyway, came back 81. They wanted under 70. Okay. Or excuse me, came back 85 that time. Came back 85. They wanted under 70. So when I had it retested again, it was 81. So I get this message, go off of it for 2 weeks, and then go back on. Well, I'm like, yeah, no. By day 5, the last time off, I was symptomatic. It was unpleasant. I'd rather not do that. Can we test it a week and see how low it goes? So then I get the message back, yes, we'll do that. And then, so that means I go back tomorrow and retest. Well, this time I felt it after like 2 days, and it's just slowly gotten worse. And I do have my follow-up visit on Thursday, so we'll talk about it. But I am certain, on the little research I have done, that it's the testosterone. And I probably am, because I know I feel bloated and it's not abnormal for me to get headaches, PMSy. I just feel like it's a bad combo. At first I thought it was a little bit of the weather and that smoke in the air and that kind of stuff, because that was kind of crazy, but no, I don't think so. So anyway, that is why I feel particularly awful, because I've stopped taking something that I apply daily. And it's the second time in 3 weeks that I've gone off of it for an extended period of time. You can't tell me that isn't going to cause some kind of wonkiness.
Yeah, your hormones get out of balance and then they shift. It's a systemic thing. Your whole system can just go.
And there is some neuralgia
angry.
going on there. And if you do research hormone imbalances and MCAS and trigeminal neuralgia, there's a whole lot that will come up. So, go figure. I just said I was feeling good, and here I am. But I know darn well how I felt when I went back on it. My symptoms did get better. So to go off of it again, week and a half later, 2 weeks later. Okay. Anyway, there's my side note.
Okay.
I know why I feel unwell. I've got a very good idea. And it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I know one of the reasons why I'm a little and that, but also medical. But hey, what are you gonna do? I've got a temporary crown right now. I had a tooth that cracked and big chunk came out of it when we were in Gatlinburg.
So almost a year ago.
Yep, and the chip was more or less okay. I mean, the chunk that came out of it was good size, but everything was mostly okay. And then the tooth started to crack, and they're like, "Yeah, we gotta do something about this before it splits in half and causes you all kinds of problems." So I got go in. They put on the temporary crown. I think the temporary crown is squeezing a little. Is a snug fit, which you want a snug fit. But I think it might be a little bit too snug because it's like constant annoying pressure on it. And it's really gotten to me the last couple of days. And it's been super sensitive to touch and temperature. So hot, cold, toothbrush, not a good time. And
I've been there, done that.
Yeah, it's not a good time. Don't like it.
I mean, I felt that way last night. I feel that way this morning. So.
Yeah, so like I'm a little.
And I've spent years there. So.
And I have in my life I have had so many stinking injuries, and most of them I'll be fine. I can get through. I can get on with my day. With two exceptions, tooth pain and headaches. It's like it's in your head. I can't fake that. I can't do anything. It's just always there grinding away at the back of my head. It makes it very difficult to think. I don't know if that's odd or not, but for me it's like, yeah, no. It's like I can crack a bone in my arm. I'll be okay. I can find a way to work around that and just deal with it. Yeah, no, nasty sinus headache. It's like, no, I'm pretty much just leave me alone. I want to find a dark corner and some steam and some heat and leave me alone. But
Anyway.
yeah. Anyway,
Sorry.
So we have our little, we're
happiness.
we're dealing with our stuff. Anyway, one. Okay, now I want to. Like I said, I have my own little pet theories from observation over the years. And I want to preface this with that the specific observations I'm going to talk about are from seriously disconnected, distant observations.
Okay.
But if happiness came from things, or money, or fame, or power, or influence, or recognition, whichever, then individuals, like, it's like a really old term, and I don't think there's a good new one, but rock stars. Look at individuals at the top of their game. Some of the names are blown out of my head, but like Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, and it was a very good example. Quite literally, one of the most recognized and lauded lead vocalists. Phenomenal range. Phenomenal power. Just everybody saw him and went, yeah, that's what we're talking about. He had all the money you could think of. He's as much money as he needed, he had. As much money he could think of spending, he had. He had a wife and I believe a daughter. I could be mistaken, but he had a wife and kids, and he had a band full of friends that were there to support him. And he effectively killed himself.
Yeah.
And he had all of the things that one would think would make you happy if things made you happy. But if you look back, there's so many people at the peak, at the pinnacle of what you would think a person can achieve who've committed suicide over the years.
Yeah.
And there are, not to be, there are people dealing with many things and they've died of accidental overdoses. But I kind of throw like, if you were happy, why did you need the drugs and the alcohol? And anyway, that's a little side note on that whole thing.
That's a deeper.
And I have ideas and thoughts and theories on that too, but that's another time for another day, maybe. But I think what it really was is the higher you go and the more you realize the stuff isn't making you happy, the more desperate you become for the thing that will make you happy. And when you get desperate, you start to despair.
Yeah.
And when you get to the top, I have everything. I have money. I have fame. I have recognition. I have influence. I have all of this stuff around me. And I'm still not happy.
I would say it's more than just the happy. It is no peace. It's no joy. It's no perspective.
Well, and I think if you're focusing,
there's no healthy perspective.
Yeah. And I think that's part of it. Well, and people have been told for years, if I just get, it's like I just get this one more thing. I get this job. I get this promotion. I get this raise. Everything's going to be great. And then you get there and you realize, I'm not great. Well, well, okay, well, this didn't make it great. Well, maybe this next step in the process will be great. Make it great. You're like, okay, well, that didn't make me it's like, I got it. And, things still aren't great. Well, what's the next thing? And then you get to a point where there is no next thing. Then what?
That's a great question.
And that's where it's like, that's what brought me to the conclusion that it's like you're hunting for happy. But when I think happiness isn't the prey, happiness is the hunter.
Yes, there's a spiritual connotation there as well.
Well, that's why I brought up the Zen idea.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I have clients that don't believe in Christ as Savior, and they have the same issue, but you could believe in Christ as Savior
Sure.
and still have that issue.
Yes. Well, and I
It's
think
very
it's
easy
you're-
to get lost.
Yeah, and I think a good chunk of that is your perspective is off,
Yeah.
which is very easy to do, especially in modern times. It's like we have all these things telling us things that are just inaccurate. People are buying multi-$1,000 purses. It's like, that Prada bag doesn't hold any stuff any better than that sucker from the discount rack at Walmart. It holds the same amount of stuff and it does it just as well. And there's the dog.
Because there's children yelling and screaming right outside of the
Yeah.
door.
Neighborhood kids being neighborhood kids, and the dog occasionally doesn't like it. Either that or she just wants out so she can go get petted by strangers again. She loves that.
Well, she hasn't been out all day,
But
anyway,
she's...
we'll try to make it to the end of this.
Yes. It'll probably be a slightly shorter than normal one. But that's okay. I think it's okay. And here's where I'm always kind of at a loss with some things. There are times when it's really easy to identify the problem, but the solution to the problem is much, much more difficult. I think that's why I think it's like the idea is like if you're hunting for happiness, you're always going to lose. You're going to get the little snippets. You're going to get those moments, but they're fake because they don't last. It's like the discount version, the discontinued rack version of happy. It's that momentary glimpse of what could be. I think to truly be happy, you have to learn how to be content. And that doesn't mean complacent, and that doesn't mean settling. It's learning to truly accept where you are at the moment without resistance. And that sets you up so that when something good comes, you can truly enjoy it in the proper perspective. But like I was saying, I think happiness is the predator, not the prey. It's the thing that's hunting you. Or people are searching for happy, and I think happy is searching for you. But you have to if you're running after happy, you're always 3 steps behind. Mm. And you might catch a glimpse of happy.
Sure.
But you won't be able to actually get your hands on it because it's trying to get its hands on you.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's almost like it's like playing tag with somebody and they're trying to tag you back. So you're running after each other, and every time you get close, you almost get it, and then you jump away from each other so that they can't tag you because you're trying not to get tagged. Except you don't realize that you want to get tagged. But honestly, I truly am starting to believe that to actually be happy, you have to put yourself in a position and a location and a mindset that happy can find you.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, it's like
a choice.
You learn. It's like by not being content, I think you repel happy. It's like a happy inoculant.
But there are steps to finding contentment too.
Sure, and I'm not saying it's an easy thing, and I'm not saying it's a mindset that you maintain all the time. I think I've known people that have, but it took a lifetime to get there. But I mean, you have to put yourself in a position where you can create the environment that's going to allow happy to flourish where you're at. And I truly believe that that if you want to find happy for yourself, you give what little you have to other people. If you feed misery to people, you get misery back.
Mm-hmm.
And you usually get it back worse than what. It's like compounding interest. If you give somebody else a moment of happiness. Sometimes, like I said, it's a compliment. It's, you give them that little dopamine hit. And it's amazing how much that comes back to you. I think you lose something in the process if that you're doing it solely to get back, because you're taking it out of its proper perspective. I'm helping you because it makes me feel good. By all means, I'm not saying by all means, if that's your motivation for helping other people, help other people. Do that. But if it's your goal, I think you actually deaden its effects. There's something to be said for doing the right thing despite how you might feel in the end of it.
Yeah.
Put the shopping cart back. It's a pet peeve of mine. But at the same time, it's like it's very little effort on your part, and it can make somebody else's day. You don't know whose, but you're putting it out there into the world. I mean, if you've ever had a rogue shopping cart run into your car, you want to chastise everybody that doesn't put their carts away. But you put the cart away, and somebody out there is going to have a better day because that cart is where it's supposed to be. You don't know who, and you're doing it because it's the right thing, but at the same time, you get that little bit of actual happiness.
A little something.
It's small, but it lasts longer. You help the neighbor, not because they can help you, but because they're there. I have talked about it. It's like for living in town, I have an absolutely absurd snowblower.
Yeah, you do.
And that has its own story, but most of the people on our block at the last house, they didn't have to dig out their mailboxes. I just did it. Most of the time. Sometimes I didn't have the time or the fuel. Or the snowblower broke. Whichever. But I didn't do it because somebody was paying me. I didn't do it because anybody was watching. Most of the time, people weren't even home when I was doing that stuff. But I did it because, it's the neighborly thing to do. And I mean, I know that some of those people came home and like, oh crap, I don't have to clean that stuff out, and made their day. And whether they knew I did it or not, I think everybody kind of figured out after a while. It's like, hey, it's him and the great big yellow snowblower.
Yeah, I think people saw. Sure.
But it made me happy. I was giving of myself to other people. In a way, and it was some time. I took some time, a little bit of gas. And if all of the repairs I had to do last year, a little bit of money. But snow blowing does not make me happy. In fact, I despise it. I hate going out in the cold. I hate getting snow in my face. I don't like I despise dealing with snow. I refuse to move out of Michigan because I've been elsewhere and it sucks in other directions. I like the balance that I have. Anyway.
It's true.
The balance here is not bad. But I don't like dealing with snow. So it's like doing the snow doesn't make me happy. There's no joy in that. Not having to shovel does kind of make me smile because, absurdity. The absurd snowblower for a sidewalk, but it needed to be. I knew it needed to be done, and I was able to help other people out. So even though there was no joy in it, there was happiness. There's no joy in the act, but there was happiness in having it done. Did I do it because I wanted to be happy? No. Did I do it because I wanted, I was getting something out of it directly? No. I did it because it was the right thing to do. Because I could. And because it was, and I think it was by keeping it in that perspective. I am capable. I have this silly thing. I live in town. We had a 1.5 car length driveway. And I have a 42-inch riding snowblower. It's dumb.
Yeah, it is.
It's dumb. It was a really good deal. It was dumb. But I have the thing out anyway. I'm going to help people. Do I like the snow? No. Do I like throwing belts and climbing around it, replacing shear pins and all that? No, not at all. But I made other people's lives a little bit better. And in doing so, I made my life a little bit better.
And that is special.
And I think lasting happiness comes more from what you give others than what you get for yourself. And again, I'm not saying don't do the little dopamine hits. Sometimes we need those little things to get us through a bad day. I get that. But you got to keep it in perspective. It's not going to last. The short-term things, they don't last. So don't seek the short term. Seek the things that last.
Sometimes it's difficult to figure out what is short term, but
almost everything. If it's a thing, it's going to be short term. I think, because like I said, the little study article. It's like the reason why things don't make people happy is we think it's going to make us happy, and we get it, and we're happy for a moment. But our brain is only anticipating that moment. And it completely forgets that our minds adapt. And that new cool thing that made us all giddy is now the everyday thing that we've had for a little while now, and it no longer has that same place. We adapt to its presence. So all of those, I mean, like, we have this really nice house. And one could, it's like, well, does it make you happy? It was like, in all honesty, the house itself, to me, nah, not so much. The house in and of itself is not a point of happiness. You know what makes me happy in this house is when we have a bunch of people over and there's just a little bit of chaos and a lot of noise and a bunch of laughter and people enjoying the space and the time together. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
That makes me smile. The house itself.
We've had that everywhere we've lived.
And I think that's the point. Is that it's not the thing. Well, and I have stuff. Much to your chagrin. I have stuff.
You have stuff.
I have stuff. And the stuff doesn't make me happy. I like having the stuff because it's sometimes convenient. But a majority of the stuff that I have has nothing to do with the stuff. For me, most of the things that I have are tied to memories, and it's the memories that matter. So there's, I have a goofy cup in the cabinet upstairs, and by itself, it's just an odd cup. Quite literally, it's a This Old House cup. For those people that are familiar with the old PBS show, This Old House, like the old time This Old House.
You're dating yourself a little.
Yeah, I am, and I'm fine with that. Norm Abrams and what's his name? Anyway, the cup in and of itself means nothing. But it was my uncle's cup. It was the cup that I used every time I went over there and we hung out and we talked about life and I lived there for a little while and worked on their car and worked on their house and just hung out and laughed and went to baseball games we went to 2 baseball games. The cup has nothing to do with the cup. The cup is just a thing. What's attached to the cup? The thing that goes beyond it, the esoteric aspect of the cup. That, for me, is where the happiness is attached. I can look at the cup and I can think of my uncle and those weird little times that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things as far as, it's like, yeah, we sat around and I drank a cup of coffee.
Memories are special.
Yeah, and there was nothing significant about that moment. But that cup is all of those moments. And so it's not the thing. And I think that's where people get very confused. And I think, and admittedly, marketing and society, it puts a focus on the thing. And I think that is where a lot of the problems show up. It's like you prioritize the thing over what the thing could represent. If you keep your eye on what it represents, I don't think it. Like I could imagine, unless something drastically bad happens to my brain, it's like 30 years from now, I could look at that cup and still think of my uncle and smile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I prioritized the thing, it's just a coffee cup. Well, that thing ceased to have any value as a coffee cup like a week after I got it, because I have so many coffee cups. We have so many coffee cups. So as a thing, it's like you give me here's the cup, and it makes me smile. It's like, oh, thank you for the cup. If the cup was the point, it ceased to have a point shortly thereafter.
No, I hear you. I feel that way about some of my own things.
Sure. Which awesome. And there's a reason I'm if it has importance to you, what do I need to do to make? It was like, what do we got to do to make sure it's good? Do you want to put it on prominent display? Do you want a case? Because I want to make sure those things that have value. And again, we both know it's not the thing that has value.
No.
And in the end, I think that's what a good chunk of it comes down to is we've been sold happiness from things, and things in not necessarily a tangible way. A promotion isn't tangible. Recognition isn't tangible. Money is nowadays barely tangible. It's mostly digital anymore. And the thing should never have been the point. And in making it the point, we've led so many people down this road where misery is the norm. Now, I just don't know why I'm not happy. It's like, well, one, you think happy is the goal. Happy isn't the goal. To be content is a goal. To be joyful, despite
And again,
being
this
happy.
is parts of a greater conversation
It is.
that I am absolutely not up for.
But
I'm barely making it through this.
but like I said, I think that's the part where we need to, as a society, get back to properly prioritizing the stuff. You don't need stuff. You need a certain level of stuff. But
I think
the
people need
accumulation,
patience.
the accumulation of stuff has only ever led to misery. But you can use that stuff to improve other people's lives. And you can utilize that energy to take care of others, to improve your life, improve their life, improve society in your little bubble. You're going to get massively more out of it than focusing on that momentary feeling good. And in doing so, you get a much more permanent version of happy. You get the authentic version rather than the fast food version.
Sure.
If that makes any sense.
It's a way to look at it.
It's a way to look at it, yes. But anyway. I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think I've covered it as best as I can at the moment, with as scattered as my thinking and thoughts are.
Virtually solo, which again I apologize for, but now you just get to hear what this is like.
This is what she deals with all the time.
No, I meant me right now.
No, but this is
the way
what
I'm
she deals
feeling.
with all the time.
Yeah, well,
I can go off.
it's fine.
And I'm trying not to go off. I'm trying to be thoughtful. And I'm a little haphazard and scattered in my thinking today.
I can't keep you on. I'm not there.
Yep. Anyway. So,
But thank you for listening regardless.
appreciate y'all being here. Hope to hear from you.
Next week I'll feel better and I'll talk about seeing the new Spider-Man movie. I want to go see it.
Sure.
And all the shows are already sold out.
Yeah, I'm very trepidatious of where it's going to go from here, but we shall see.
You mean Spider-Man?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I am hopeful.
And I'll tell you next week why it's a big deal that I would even consider seeing a Spider-Man movie. But not today.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so with all that being said,
Again, thank you for listening. Sorry it wasn't more meaningful.
and with that, I'm Fix It.
I'm Feel It.
We hope you join us in the future.
Until next week.
You all have a great one.